Great scene. Great scene. It's kind of macabre, though. The Ewoks are playing drums on stormtroopers' helmets. Presumably, heads were in there prior to them becoming instruments of percussion. And now they're all like, but we're going to talk about that because the Ewoks actually have a savage side indeed. Now, I still do wish, instead of a bunch of Ewoks, it would have been a planet filled of Wookiees. But nonetheless, let's talk about the Ewoks in relationship to Mr. Goldenrod himself, Mr. C-3PO. They get captured. 3PO rises up. What do the Ewoks begin doing when they see C-3PO? Can you guys do the chant? Coordinate it. Okay, fine. I was trying to see how loud it could go. I do believe they think I'm some sort of god. Now, this is crazy. Has God or a god ever been mentioned in the Star Wars universe anywhere at all? I mean, okay, we're talking about we'll do the 7 movies. I'm focusing in on those. There's talk of the Force. That's it. It's called an ancient religion, yada, yada, yada. But there's no idea. However, what is C-3PO? What is he? He's a droid. Okay. So who constructed him? Yes, Anakin. It's kind of odd, I know. But let's just say, at the very least, like all droids, a human being. So they program them, right? Which again, it's weird because when 3PO is about to get an oil bath, right before he says, "Thank the Maker." He's like thanking Anakin right there. You see what I'm saying? Thank the Maker. This auto bath is going to feel so good. He's like, "Thank you, Darth Vader." It's weird. But he probably doesn't know because he's had a memory wipe since then. But nonetheless, he says this. That means someone, Anakin in this case, pre-programmed C-3PO, it appears, to have the capacity to understand the idea of a god, right? But yet, there's the Force, but maybe it's false religions. Maybe it's understanding those. Maybe that's what it is. Although Anakin, when he first created 3PO, was kind of young, so yada, yada, yada. But let's look. What could we say about people who believe in gods from this scene? All right? First of all, what do the Ewoks, once they arrive at the Ewok village, which was a very fun playset, by the way, when they arrive at the Ewok village, what do the Ewoks begin doing to Han Solo, Luke, Chewie? What do they begin doing? Yes. Why are they going to cook them in the fire? A banquet in whose honor? Who is, according to the Ewoks' worldview at this point, a god? Who, it seems, maybe except, here's a good way to say it, sans the Sand People, who is the most primitive species we encounter in the Star Wars universe in the movies? Ewoks, seems. Who do you think is more primitive, by the way? What do you guys go with? Sand People, Ewoks? Jawas? But they deal in all that tech. See, they deal in all that tech. I don't know. I can't go there with Jawas because they're clearly able to rig stuff together and they got a sand crawler. You know, Sand People ride banthas, which are kind of like Mr. Snuffleupagus, if you think about the way they look. Gamorrean guards? Huh? Well, see, Gamorrean guards do wear more clothes than Ewoks. So that's a consideration. And this is kind of, the Gamorrean guards wear the clothes of the furry. So they wear, you know, they got something, they've killed something, I don't know. Ewoks have minimal clothing, it appears. But then again, if those are leather, that means they've also killed something. Anyways, so, but the Ewoks are doing all of this, which is going to be cannibalism, it appears, because I think they're probably going to have Leia eat some of it. But at the very least, they're going to be eating humans. I guess they're going to give some of the food to 3PO. He can't digest it. But it's all because of their belief in a false god. Now, we could take this a few ways. We could just say it's just a scene. But we could take it as, look at what worship of false gods does. Because we all know, this is the joke, 3PO is not a god, right? That's what makes it humorous. Except if you became the steak, it would not be humorous at that point. But it's humorous until you become the filet mignon. So, they're doing all of this. The capturing, the seasoning, the firing, what would become the cooking, then the eating, all that, because of, it appears, preconceived religious beliefs. But that actually matches with Scripture, doesn't it? Doesn't it? The Bible talks about we'll worship, if we don't worship the one true God, a false God, something that was created, like C-3PO, who was created, and do ridiculous things because of it. Read Isaiah, how they critique and mock. And so we could take it as, well, they're just saying this is what religion makes you do. Primitive people believe in religion. But then again, the Jedi appear religious of a sort, so it doesn't seem like it's an overall critique of religion. But it's interesting to take a scene like this and then talk about it, think about it in light of Star Wars. So next time you see this scene, I want you to think, ooh, we did some analysis of that. Let me think some more about it. Let me see what they're saying here. Let me see what's going on. I think it's kind of fun to do that sort of thing.